Okay, parents, this video is for you and your time is precious, so I'm gonna talk fast. I'm gonna show you an independent kindergarten book that many kindergartners around December could read on their own. It looks a lot different than the books that we buy in the stores. These are the types most of us have in our houses, myself included. These are the kinds we have in our classrooms, and there is a big difference. Let me show you the difference and talk about how we can still use these while we're home and we don't have access to books like this. So these books that kindergartners are typically able to read around December, they follow a pattern. You're gonna notice the first 4 words of the sentence stays the same on every page. Ted is in the bed. Ted is in the bin. We only have to figure out this last word on the page. The picture can help us figure out this last word on the page. You're probably also noticing that they're single syllable words too, for the most part. They are short vowels. They're very easy to sound out. Now I'm gonna grab an I Can Read book because these are very, very popular. Yours might have a 1 on them because it seems like, hey, we're kindergarten, that'll be easy. They might have a My First Reading. Let me show you the difference. Pete is excited to go camping. This is his first time. There's more than 1 sentence on a page. And right away, I see a long vowel. I see a multi-syllable word that is super hard to sound out. Pete, most kids might look at this and go, p-e-t-e. They don't know about that magic E yet. It does not follow a pattern. Oh, we've even got a contraction here. That's very hard. We can still use these type of books though, even though they are not independent kindergarten level. This one's a little bit easier, but we still have 2-syllable words. It doesn't follow a pattern. And this vowel with the W, that's doing something weird. We would go s-n-o or ow. That would be very hard for kindergartner to sound out. Now don't go throwing these away. These are totally fine. They're just not independent books. So you'll have to guide your kindergartner through these. They're not gonna be able to sound out all of the words. I'm gonna show you a couple of things you can do with these books to add value to them, to make them impactful, even though our kindergartners are still a little too young for these. Let me show you. Number 1, read it to them a couple of times. You do all of the reading, maybe talk about how the characters are feeling in the book. Maybe ask them, what do you think happens next? But you do all of the heavy decoding of the words and read the story to them. Now, after a couple times of reading the story to them, they should be able to fill in the blanks. So for instance, Pete is excited to go, and then your child will probably be able to say camping after reading it a few times. This is his first time. What does the dad say? Now, they've read this a few times with you as their leader, so maybe they'll remember what the dad says. Don't forget your sleeping bag, says dad. So you can have them fill in a couple of those fun phrases, maybe even a word here or there that they might remember. Number 2. You might play a game of I Spy using this book. Now, I'm not talking about just the pictures. I'm actually focusing on the words for I Spy. Let me show you what I mean. I've picked a page that has a very clear main point. They're fishing in this page. They've got their poles. There's even a fish. You might say, I spy the word fish. Fish. What does that start with? And then have your child hunt for a word on the page that starts with that letter. They might get it wrong. There might be a couple words on here that start with an F. I see there's fishing and fish. So if they get it wrong, say, oh, that's so close. That does start with an F. Try again. See if they can get it. So that's how I would play I Spy. Number 3, a lot of children are still really learning the difference between words and sentences and letters and what those things mean. So you might, after reading this book to your child, You might point to a sentence. We play in the snow. And you might say to them, that's a sentence. How many words are in the sentence, we play in the snow? And have them count it. Now, you won't do this on every single page, on every single sentence. Maybe just pick a couple. One snowball on the bottom. There's another sentence. I see the period at the end. How many words are in that sentence? And have them count it. I hope that I've helped you in some way. Really, you can use any picture book that you have around your house. But let me share one more piece of wisdom with you. You are their hero. They look up to you way more than they look up to me. If you are showing a love for learning or a love for books, you're showing interest in what your child has to say. If you're showing excitement about reading, they're going to end up liking reading. It might not be immediate. It might take a couple months, but showing positivity and like genuine love for spending time together, their brains are going to grow so much more than anything I can give you here. Really, that's all I have to say. You rock. You've got this. Just do what feels right.